Hello friends. Now, in this lecture I'll be going to explain you about the operators in Python. But what is operator? So operators are special symbols which are used to carry out some operations. Now those operations may be arithmetic operation, logical operation, relational operation, comparison operation, assignment operation, and many more. So we can say operators are used to perform operation on variables and values. So for more about variables, you can see in my variables lecture. So I've told you operators are nothing but special symbols which operates on some variables. Now what variables are? Variables are nothing but container and they store data, and that is also called as operand. So the data on which operator operates or performs operation is called as operand. The another name for operand is data, and this data is stored in variable. Now Python provides many different type of operators. So in that there is arithmetic operator, then assignment operator, comparison operator, logical operator. Then there are special operators like identity operator, membership operator, and bitwise operator. So these are the different operators which are provided in Python. Now let's see each operator in detail. Now arithmetic operator. Basically arithmetic operators are used to perform arithmetic operations like addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, as it is doing in any other programming language. So you have plus, minus, star, slash, percentage. So you have plus, which is unary positive. Then plus can be used for binary operation, that is a plus b, that is on two variables. Then minus, that is unary minus, that is you can write minus a. Then you have minus with binary operators. Binary means two operators. Binary means two operands, that is a minus b. Same way you have star for asterisk for multiplication, slash for division, percentage for modulus, and there is one more, that is double slash. Now in this quotient, when a is divided by b is rounded to the next smallest whole number. So it is also called as integer division, and you have double asterisk for exponential, or where you have to calculate raise to or power. So these are the different operators which are performing arithmetic operations. So now let's see demonstration of it. And for demonstration, as usual, I'll start my IDE. And after starting my IDE, I'll just write simply num1 equal to 100. Then num2 is also equals to 100. And then I'll write plus num1. This is unary positive operator because it is operating on one variable. So it is giving me 100. I can write minus num2. So this is unary minus. So it is giving minus 200. Now I'll write num1 plus num2. Now this is binary plus. So when I have two operands, it is called as binary operation because it is operating on 2. So you have num1 plus num2. That is 300, and then num1, I'll take here num2 minus num1. So it will give me result as 100. Now I'll say num1 into num2. So it is giving me a product of 200 into 100, that is 20,000. Now I'll write num2 divided by num1. So the answer is in float, because you may get result sometime in floating point value also. So division generally returns float. So we have seen plus, minus, multiplication and division. Now let's say what exponent says. So I'll again initialize num1 to 10 and num2 to 2. So now it is num1 raised to num2. So num1 is 10 and num2 is 2. So it is 10 raised to 2. Answer should be 100. Yeah, it is 100. And then finally we'll see what is integer division. So again I'll divide here num1. Again I'll initialize here num1 to, let's say, 500 and num2 to, let's say, 150. Now num1 divided by num2. So it should give me some integer value. Let's see what it gives. So it is giving me 3. Actually it should be 3 point something, but it will always round it to the nearest lowest value or the smallest value. Let's see one more example. Num1 equal to 500 here. And let's say num2, I'm taking 110. And see the result. Num1 divided by num2. So see here it is giving me floating point value for num1 divided by num2. And here now I'll take num1 double slash num2. See, now it is giving me 4. So it was 4.54. So it has rounded off to 4. So I hope all these operators are clear. These are the arithmetic operators. Now we'll move on to the next operator. So next is assignment operator. Now assignment operators are used to assign a value to a variable in Python like any other programming language. So I can say num1 equal to 25. So 25 is assigned to num1. So a value on the right hand side is assigned to the operator on the left hand side. So it will assign the value from right hand side to left hand side. This is same in all the programming language. There is nothing new of assignment operator in Python. Now let's see the next operator, that is comparison operator. Now in comparison we have equal to, not equal to, less than equal to, greater than and greater than equal to. So they perform the operation as they are called. So equal to will check for the equal values, not equal to will check for the not equal values. Now let's see the demonstration for the same again. So I'll come back to my IDE. So I'll come back to my IDE, and now here I am writing num1 equal to 100 and num2 equal to 200 and num3 equal to 100. Now let's see what it gives. I'll write num1 equal to num. So it is giving me true because num1 and num both are having the value 100. That's why it is returning me true. Let's see its type. So I'm writing type num1 equal to num. So see, it is giving class bool, means it is of type boolean. So it will return either true or false. Now I'm writing num1 equal to num2. So it is giving me false because num1 is 100 and num2 is 200. So if I write num1 not equal to num2, now it will give me true because num1 is not equal to num2. So it is giving me true. Num1 less than num2. So it is giving me true. But if I write num2 greater than num, again it will has to give me true because num1 is greater and num2 is smaller. Now I'll write num1 greater than equal to num2. So it is giving me false because num1 is neither greater than nor equal to num2. So again I'll write num1 less than equal to num2. It will give me true. And num1 less than equal to num. Now here also it will give me true because it is less than equal to. But if I write num1 less than num2 or num, so it will give me false because num1 and num are both same. So in this way the comparison operators are used. So if I write num2 greater than num1 greater than equal to, so it will return me true, and num2 greater than num, it is also returning me true. So I hope the comparison operators are clear to you. Remember one thing, comparison operators always return the boolean value that is either true or false depending upon the comparison is performed. Now the next category of operator is logical operator, and these are and, or, and not. So logical operator basically help in joining or combining the output of comparison operator. Now you have here not, or, and. Now not says negate or complement, so it will complement the value, or says either of the two condition, one should be true or both should be true, and says both the conditions should be true, then only it will return true. So here, like comparison operator, even logical operators will also return boolean value. So I hope this much is clear. So let's go to the ID. So my ID is started and I'm defining num1 equal to 0, num2 equal to 1, num3 equal to 100, num4 equal to 200, and num5 equal to again 100. So these are some variables I have declared. So if I say not num1, so now num1 is 0. 0 means false. So num1 is false and not of false should be true. So it is giving true. And if I say not of num2, so num2 is 1, means any value greater than 0 is taken as true. So 1, so not num2, so 1 means true, so not of true is false. It is false. Now if I say not of num3, so it is giving false. Not of num4, it is giving false. Means only for 0 value it is false, rest all the values are true. Now let's say we'll see the type. I'll say not num1, so it is returning the class as boolean. So now we'll see the other operators. Now I'm writing num1 greater than, rather I'll take less than num4 and num1 greater than num5. Now let's see this expression. Num1 is 100, num4 is 200, so num1 is less than num1, which is true, and num1 greater than num5, but num1 is 0 and num5 is 100, so that is false. So I should get false at the output, so I'm getting false. But if I'm writing num1 less than num4 and num2 is also less than num4, so now num1 is 100, sorry, num1 is 0, num4 is 200, so it is less, num2 is 1 and num4 is 200, so it is less. Both the conditions are true, so it is giving true. So and says both the conditions should be true, then only it will give true. So in this case it was false, this condition was true but this condition was false, so it has given me false. But in this case both the conditions are true, so it is returning me true. Now again take the first condition with, again we'll take this first condition with OR. So I'm writing num1 less than num4 or num1 greater than num5. Now in this case one condition is true and one condition is false. So this is true condition and this is false condition. But OR says either of the one should be true, it will return true. So it is returning me true. Fine. In the second condition, that is num1 less than num4 or num2 less than num4. Now in this case both the conditions are true. Since both the conditions are true, the OR says true only, so it is true. So here one condition is false, this is false condition, this is true condition, but either of the one is true, that's why it's true. Here both are true, then also it's true. So I hope this operation is clear. Even I can combine these operators. Now I'll write not and I'll write num1 less than num2 or num2 less than num4. So true condition is negated, that is not, so it will give me false. So here it was true and here it was false. So we can say logical operators generates the relation between the other operations like comparison operations. So it relates the two conditions or the two conditional operations. I hope this much is clear. So now let's move on to the next operator. Now Python supports some special type of operator. So out of that, one is identity operator and second is membership operator. Now let's see what is identity operator. So identity operators are used to compare the objects, not if they are equal, but if they are actually same objects with the same memory locations. So in identity there are two operators, is and is not. Is returns true if both the variables are of same object and is not returned true if both the variables are of not the same object. So is true if they are from the same object and is not true if they are from the different objects. So let's see the demonstration. So we'll start the IDE. Let's start with the IDE. And now here I'm defining num1 equal to 100, num2 equal to 100 and num3 equal to 200. Now I'll print ID of num1, ID of num2 and ID of num3. So you can say ID of num1 and num2 is same. See here, num2 is same. So if I'm writing num1 is num2, so it will give me true. Why? Because both have same ID. Now num1 is num3. Now see, even they both are of type integer, but they have different IDs. That's why it will give me false. Fine. Now I hope this is clear why it is giving true and why it is giving false. So I'll write num1 is not num3. So definitely it will give me true because num1 and num3 both are of different ID, but num1 is not num3. Now this time it will give me false. I'm sorry, it is num1 is not num2. So it will give me false because both have same IDs. Now same can be done with float as well as string. So I'll take the example of string now. So I'm taking name as COVID, name fname, again I am taking it as COVID, and lname I am taking as Wuhan. So I've declared 3 variables. Now I'll write name is fname. So it is giving true because both are same, they share the same ID. Let's see the ID of both. So name and ID of fname. So you can see ID of name and ID of fname are same. Now I'll say num1, fname is lname. It will give me false. Now let's see ID of lname. So ID of fname and lname is different, that's why it has given me false. So I hope is and is not identity operator is clear. And remember, it is verifying the object with respect to its ID. Fine. Now let's move on to the next, that is membership operator. Now membership operator. So there are 2 membership operators, in and not in. They are used to test whether a variable or a value is found in the sequence or not. Now what are the different sequences which are supported by Python? Those are string, list, tuple, set, dictionary. That we'll see in our further sessions. So we have 2 operators, in and not in. So in is true if I find a value or a variable in a sequence, then it will return me true, and not in. So not in will be true if that value is not found in the sequence. So let's see the demonstration. So I'll start my ID here. I'll write name equal to Hindustan. Now what I'll search is H in name. So is H in name? Yes, H is there in name, so it should return true. So it is returning true. Now I am writing H in name. So small h is not there, so it is not giving me true, it is giving me false. Now I am writing HIN in name. Now IN is there, but H is small here. So let's say what is giving me the output. It is giving me false because it is not finding HIN in small. But if I write HIN in name, so it is giving me true because H capital and IN small is available in Hindustan. Fine. Now I'll write H not in name. So it is returning me false because H is present, and that's why it is returning me false. But if I write H not in name, so it may be true because H is not there in that particular name. So let's say I am writing IND not in name. So it is returning me true because IND is not there in the name. So in this way, in and not in can be used to search any value in the sequence, and here I have demonstrated this with string. So when we'll be doing list, tuple, sequence, dictionary, there I'll be demonstrating this again. So I hope this is clear. That's where the membership operators. And now coming to the last operator, that is bitwise operator. Now bitwise means what? So it will operate on single bit. That's why they are called as bitwise operators. So bitwise operators act on an operand as if they were strings of binary digits. They operate bit by bit. That's why they are called as bitwise operator. Now in bitwise operators we have AND, OR, XOR, NOT, right shift, that is symbol is 2 greater than signs, and left shift symbol is 2 less than sign. So these are the different bitwise operators. So as the name says, the operation is being performed. Now let's see the demonstration of the same. So again I'll start my fine. Let's see the demonstration of bitwise operator. Now here I'm defining num1 equal to 7, num2 equals to 5. Now here I'll write hash 0101, that is 4-bit equivalent of this 5. Actually in computer it is taking more bits, but here since the value is 5, last 4 bits or LSB 4 bits are more significant. Here again I am writing num1 because at previous declaration I forgot to write its binary equivalent, so I am writing 7 and hash 0111. So this is binary equivalent. Now let's say I am performing num1 or this pipe. This symbol is called as pipe. This symbol is called as pipe. So here I'll write num2. Now what operation will be? So this is 0 ORing 0 is 0, 1 ORing 1 is 1, 0 ORing 1 is 1, and 1 ORing 1 is 1. So the answer should be 0 1 1 1, means 7. Let's see. Yeah, it is giving me 7. Then num1 and num2. So this ampersand symbol is logical and operation. Now here 0 and 0 will give me 0, 1 and 1 will give me 1, 0 and 1 will give me 0, and 1 and 1 will give me 1. So it is 0 1 0 1. So answer should be 5. Yes, answer is 5. Now let's say num1 XOR num2. So now this is XORing. Caret symbol is XORing. Now XOR says when both the inputs are same, output is 0. So for 0 0 it will give 0. For 1 1 also it will give 0. For 0 1 it will give me 1. And for 1 1 it will give me 0. So the answer is 0 0 0 1 0. So the answer should be 2. Yeah, correct. Answer is 2. Now I'll write num1 equal to 5, or let it be 7 only. So it is hash 0 1 1 1, and here I am defining num2 equal to 2. So that is hash 0 0 1 0, that is 2. Now I am writing num1 left shift num2. So the data should be shifted twice. So the original data is 0 1 1 1. So when it is shifted first time, that is first shift, so answer will be 0 the answer will be 1 1 1 0. Fine. Now when it is shifted second time, second shifting, the value is 1 1 1 0 0. So it is 0 0, that is, this is now 16 plus 8 plus 4 decimal value. So 16 plus 8 is 24 plus 4 is 28. So let's see what is the operation. Okay, here I have made a mistake that instead of num2 it is num. So it has shifted 5 times. So shifting 5 times because num2 was 5. So shifting this 7 5 times, it has given 224. Let's say num1 I'll shift to num. Now this result should be there because first it will shifted with this value and second it will be shifted with this value. Yeah, correct. It is giving me 28. So be cautious while entering the values. These mistakes can give you wrong results. Now I'll write num1 greater than num. So it should shift twice towards right. So the original value is this. So first shifting will give me 0, 0, 1, 1, and second shifting will give me 0, 0, 0, 1. Means the answer should be 1. So let's see what is output. Correct, answer is 1. So I hope the different operators like OR, AND, caret, that is XOR, left shift and right shift is clear. Now let's say I am writing not of, or rather I'll define num equal to 0 and I'll say inversion of num. So it is giving me -1. Fine. So in this way the bitwise operators are used. So I hope all the operators are cleared. Now we have seen arithmetic operator, assignment operator, comparison operator, logical operator, and two special type of operators like identity operator and membership operator, and finally bitwise operator. So I hope this much is clear, and my next video will be on typecasting. So stay tuned, stay safe, take care, have a nice time.